Welcome back to the Midnight Who Show, and today we're going to be reviewing Stranded 2, which continues the adventures of the Eighth Doctor dealing with the fact that he's now stranded on Earth, and he has to live with a bunch of people in his Baker Street flat. Now, however, he does get some luck, as his TARDIS is slowly starting to recover, and it can now travel in time, but not space, and also only can be in the same location. So basically, it's still kind of stranded. Kind of causes some disappointment for the Doctor. So the four stories in this box are Dead Time by Matt Fitton, Unit Dating by Roy Gill, Baker Street Irregulars by Lisa McMillan, and The Long Way Round by John Dorney. Now this was a really good box set. I think there's some really strong stories in it, and it furthers the strong character development that we saw in the first box set, and we get to learn a lot more about these characters, which I really liked. One of the particular highlights is we get to see more of Tanya and Liv's relationship continue. We see the good moments and the bad moments, and Tanya's still kind of accepting that, well, Liv's a time traveler, and trying to accept that that's her world. And we get to see that a lot more in this box set, but we also see that Tanya's hiding something, because what are her and Andy doing? I'm very curious about that side of this. It'll be very interesting. Further, I can also say, well, Andy. I really enjoyed that he's in a lot more of these adventures, and he actually has a really good part in a lot of them. And he travels in the past and the future, which I thought was really cool. And Andy's such a really good character, and I really enjoy his interactions in this box set with the Eighth Doctor. One of my favorite aspects of this box set is we actually get to see some of the residents' family history or their past, which I thought was a really cool concept to explore now that the TARDIS can travel in time. In Unit Dating, we get to see Ron and Tony's involvement in Unit in the past, in Unit Dating, and it has a really good guest appearance by John Clouseau as the Brigadier, who does a really good job. I really liked how the Doctor's involvement in the story, because he's trying to basically find a component that the Third Doctor had, and he takes Andy with him so he can fix the TARDIS. And you kind of see how time is kind of changing for them a little bit in the past, and how it affects them in the future. This can get really confusing sometimes when you have two timelines, happening at the same time. But the story does a really good job balancing it, and we also get to see the Ogrons, which are always a treat to see. And yeah, this was a really good story that I really liked how it just explored so much. And it's probably one of my favorites of this box set. Baker Street Irregulars explores Aisha and Zykea's family history, and we get to see that their family was involved in the Baker Street Irregulars, and how much they were involved in World War II. And I like this kind of historical Doctor Who story. I think they did a really good job, and it's kind of really just a fascinating subject to explore, and I think Lisa McMillan did a fantastic job with it. And they also, the two characters, get to see, well, some things about their family that they didn't know, and also some family secrets that come to light. It was a really good story. It's really interesting how Unit Dating and this one came back to back in the box set. I think Unit Dating was the stronger of the two stories, but they were both fascinating character explorations, and had some really good moments with them. First and final story in this box set involves the future at two different moments. In the first story, Dead Time, we get to see the Doctor and a bunch more people than he expected travel on his test flight arrive in a pretty abandoned future, and they soon meet some robots and develop some interesting questions of what's going on, and also wonder, are they going to be stranded there, because there's some problems with the TARDIS still. It wasn't a smooth flight. Another future story is only 30 years from 2020, and we get a really cool concept explored, basically a two-hander interrogation story, which is so fascinating, and you just get to see this interrogation or question, what do you know about the Doctor? Do you really know what he's involved with? And I just enjoyed this, and it also is a great conclusion that sets up, the upcoming box set 3 and 4, and I'll be very excited to see where it goes. And what did the Doctor do, or did he not do it, or they just, is something not right? I'm very excited to see where this heads to. And the story had the Curator, which expands his mystery, and we get to see some good, moments with him, and it'll be very interesting to see where the Curator goes in the future. I really enjoyed this box set. I think it, continued on from the strong elements of the first box set, and just develop them even more. We get to see some great character moments and some really interesting concepts explored in this, like Unit Dating, which I think is just fantastic, and this two-hander with the companions being interrogated. It's just an awesome part of the story. And I really, really am curious to see where this heads to in the future. But yeah, I'm very excited. Tell me your guys' thoughts if you've listened to this box set in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.